The movie begins in the US, which has recently imposed martial law to a rise in crime rate, and the death toll is at its highest as the rest of the world suffers from severe economic depression. Much to the shock of everyone, LexCorp CEO Lex Luthor has been elected as President of the United States. Little did they expect that the country would thrive under his leadership and everything would return to normal. As part of his propaganda, he claims that the world's suffering comes from superheroes who go beyond the law to act as their own judge, jury, and often executioner. He insists that no one should be above the law. As part of his first presidential decree, he formed a force of government-employed superheroes. Captain Atom will lead the team along with Black Lightning, Power Girl, Starfire, Katana, and Major Force. He also urges other superheroes to join the fold, or face the consequences should they go fugitive. Later, a high-speed car chase happens on a major highway, where it would have crashed if not for Superman, who swoops in to save him. Superman is later greeted by Captain Atom, Major Force, and Power Girl, who convince him to join them. With the crime rate at its lowest, Captain Atom wants Superman to admit that Lex Luthor is doing a great job despite the hero's lack of confidence. Superman walks away without a word when Power Girl chases after him, in a last attempt to convince him. Despite how honorable Captain Atom paints Lex Luthor to be, Superman insists that he could not trust him given the many chances he gave him to change his ways. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor and Amanda Waller discuss plans to handle a massive kryptonite meteor hurtling toward Earth. Based on their gathered data, the said meteor will impact in 7 days, but Lex reassures them there will be no impact. Instead of asking superheroes for help, Lex decides to use nuclear missiles and assures them that his calculations are accurate and will work. Waller suggests using a different kind of firepower, given that Luthor has superheroes under his control, which he adamantly refuses to use. Waller calls his bluff and explains that Luthor wants credit for averting the crisis, but reminds him that it doesn't hurt to have a backup plan. Later that night, Luthor holds a press conference to inform everyone of the approaching meteor and assures them that it is being taken care of. Meanwhile, Luthor arranges a meeting with Superman under the pretense of a truce to bury their so-called lifelong rivalry and work towards saving the world. Despite Batman's advice, Superman still plans to go to the meeting and listen to what Lex says. Superman and Lex meet at an abandoned warehouse to discuss the meteor. After listening to some good advice, Lex suggests having Superman as the backup plan should the missiles fail, which would suggest that he is working for him. Disgusted by the idea, Superman starts to feel ill when he realizes that he is subjected to the effects of kryptonite in Metallo's body. Although still under its effects, Superman crushed a car on top of him and used his heat vision to have it explode. Metallo rises from the ashes, unfazed, and punches the life out of the weakened Superman. Batman throws a batarang at his arm as he has Superman in his grip and explodes. Batman helps Superman walk but is grabbed from behind by retractable arms, which he destroys with his heat vision. Batman threw a batarang at Metallo's power source, where it chipped a piece of the kryptonite. Metallo used the small piece of kryptonite as a bullet and shot Superman with it. Batman jumps over Metallo, but not before he leaves plastique bombs which destroy him. Meanwhile, Batman helps Superman and tries to remove the piece of kryptonite on his chest before the wound heals. Metallo quickly recovers and buries them both alive. Batman suggests they blow up the grave and escape to the sewer, thinking Metallo would still be waiting for them. When he hears an explosion, Metallo runs over to find a deep hole in the ground, but not before an unknown assailant kills him. Superman and Batman go deeper into the sewer, hoping to reach the Batcave before they both lose consciousness. With an electrified gate blocking their path, Superman is up to the task of prying it open when Alfred arrives with a shotgun at hand. After having his wounds treated, Superman sees Lex on national television, claiming that Superman attacked and killed Metallo. It turns out that their meeting was intended to pin his murder on Superman, using altered footage to besmirch Superman's reputation to the public. He even went on to paint Metallo as an upstanding citizen and Superman as spiteful and vengeful. He claims that Superman is affected by the kryptonite radiation from the approaching meteor, which alters his judgment and explains his sudden behavior change. With that said, Lex has placed a $1 billion bounty on Superman's capture. After the press conference, Power Girl confronts Lex and claims that Superman is not capable of killing. Lex makes a convincing comparison of how no one expected him to become president, so in the same sense, it is also possible that Superman killed Metallo even if it was highly unlikely of him. Despite the insane manhunt Lex has started, Superman and Batman decide to deal with the urgent task at hand, handling the fast-approaching meteor. They break into Star Labs, hoping to find info on the meteor. They later notice a rotten smell, where they find the dead corpse of Metallo. Batman sees that Metallo's body is teeming with radiation, which would mean someone attacked him with a radioactive blast meant to look like Superman's heat vision. Superman and Batman try to escape when guards show up, but Banshee attacks them from behind, sending Superman flying. Batman safely lands on the ground but finds himself surrounded by villains. After Superman knocks Banshee out, he takes out the rest of the villains with his heat vision. More villains show up looking to collect Superman's bounty. Batman and Superman take them out one at a time when they notice a few of them are acting unusual. They later realize that Grodd is the mastermind behind the villains working together, to which Batman knocks him out. More villains came out of the woods when they thought it was over. As Batman and Superman get outnumbered in all directions, they are relieved when Captain Atom and his team arrive to help. Much to Superman's shock, they did not come to help but to capture him as per the President's order. When Captain Atom explains that he is doing his duty, Batman comments that they are acting on Luthor's vendetta against Superman. Superman refuses to surrender, to which they battle it out. Batman uses smoke bombs on them to blind them while he throws a glue grenade at Major Force to keep him preoccupied. Katana chases after Batman and goes into close combat while Superman flies off, being chased by Starfire. When Starfire's power and Superman's heat vision exploded, Superman charged at her and took out Black Lightning, who was firing at Batman. Superman would have been hit by Captain Atom's attack if not for Power Girl who warned him. Captain Atom and Major Force tag team Superman, which they pin down. Captain Atom stops Major Force while Superman uses it as a distraction and knocks them out. Seeing no end to the fighting, Superman creates a twister with his super speed that catches the heroes off guard and gets blown off. Superman whisks Power Girl away and flies off into the distance while Batman disappears from the battlefield himself. Lex and Amanda Waller meet with the General to supervise launching the nuclear missiles. The General explains that scientists have gone over a series of scenarios and have come to the assumption that the missiles may not be enough to destroy the meteor. Lex assures him that he has done the calculations and is confident it would work. With Luthor's approval, they carry on with the mission and fire missiles at the meteor. Their victory is cut short when they realize that the mission failed, as they have not considered the radiation the meteor is emitting, which detonates the warheads before the missiles hit its target. Lex reworks his calculations to see if he has missed anything when he gives up midway. When they have time away from the others, Superman and Batman convince Power Girl that Lex can't be trusted when Captain Atom and the others arrive. Major Force claims Power Girl is a traitor. While explaining that she is trying to figure it out, Major Force attacks them without notice. Batman throws a bomb at him, Power Girl faces Captain Atom when Black Lightning and Starfire hold her back. Superman helps Power Girl and knocks out both Black Lightning and Starfire, to which Captain Atom chases after him. Batman goads Major Force into admitting to killing Metallo under Luthor's orders, but he pretends otherwise. Captain Atom is listening to their conversation when Major Force snaps and tries to kill Batman. Power Girl tried to stop him, but she punched him hard enough that it tore his suit, and radiation started leaking. Black Lightning suggests putting up a force field to contain it when Captain Atom steps in and offers to absorb it instead. Batman tries to stop him, but he insists otherwise after discovering the truth. Captain Atom is in bad shape after absorbing all that power, while Major Force disintegrates with nothing left but his suit. Power Girl later leads Superman and Batman to the base where Luthor has holed up. Superman sends Power Girl on another mission while they plan to confront Lex. When they try to storm their way in, Superman gets thrown off by Captain Marvel while Batman finds himself caught in a net by Hawkman. They both struggled with their opponents as Superman was fighting against magic while Batman was against a flying hero, so Batman suggested switching opponents. Batman launches a missile at Captain Marvel while Superman flies Hawkman to higher heights till he falls unconscious. But Hawkman sends him flying with a powerful punch instead. Batman tried to check on Captain Marvel, who returned to being a kid, but when he got too close, he changed back into Captain Marvel. With news that the meteor was still fast approaching, all hell broke loose, and crime spree skyrocketed. People are panicking, and others are looting and stealing from shops. Amanda Waller comes storming into Lex's office when he finds him juicing himself with a cocktail of steroids and liquid kryptonite. Waller asks him what his plans are for the meteor when Luthor candidly answers that he has no plans to stop the meteor. Waller suggests using the boy in Japan, but he still refuses. He claims everything will be fine after the meteor wipes out most of the population while he rebuilds the world in his image and becomes Earth's only leader. He also implied that Waller would have a role in this new world. They are later interrupted when Luthor is informed of Captain Marvel and Hawkman's appearance. Lex goes out to meet them when he realizes it's Superman and Batman disguised as them. Superman grabs Luthor, but suddenly feels dazed as if subjected to kryptonite. Batman demands that he surrender the meteor info when he orders the computer to delete everything. Waller walks in, hands the needed data to Batman, and urges him to save the world with it. Waller orders the general and his men to capture Luthor when he escapes to his office and finishes his last dose of liquid kryptonite. He then dons a mechanical suit and walks out of the facility unscathed, chasing after Superman. Superman and Batman make their way to Tokyo, Japan, where they meet Power Girl, who has already informed Hero, aka Toyman, of the situation. Toyman claims that he has already prepared the rocket and needs the coordinates of the meteor so they can have it destroyed. Toyman admits that the design was made back when he was into hero worship, which looked like half Superman and half Batman. Meanwhile, at the entrance, Power Girl notices someone at the door when she gets blasted by Luthor's attack. Superman hears something with his super hearing, so he heads to the entrance to check it out when he finds Lex and the unconscious Power Girl. It turns out that Lex's suit can emit kryptonite energy blasts, which significantly weaken Superman. Batman tried to help, but they were both beaten down, so he destroyed the computer to stop Toyman from launching the rocket. With the computer down, Batman plans on manually controlling the rocket from the inside, given that the rocket's remote guiding systems are out. Luthor tries to stop Batman, but he manages to make it inside. Superman decides to keep Luthor preoccupied while Batman launches the rocket. With the rocket on its way to destroy the incoming meteor, Superman is furious at Lex for forcing Batman to drive the rocket himself, thereby sentencing him to death. Lex tries to escape, but an ever-furious Superman stops him and breaks his suit apart. Meanwhile, the people celebrate as they see the meteor explode from a distance, thanks to Batman's sacrifice. As Superman mourns the loss of his best friend, Power Girl and the rest of Captain Atom's team arrive. She informs him that Toyman thinks that there might still be a chance that Batman is still alive. Without a word too soon, Superman flies off to space and finds Batman alive in an escape pod which Superman carries back to Earth. Superman and Batman return to Earth before Captain Atom apprehends Lex and detains him. With the truth of Metallo's murder now public knowledge, Superman is cleared of all charges. With sunrise around the corner, Superman invites Batman for breakfast, but he explains that it's already late and disappears. After a hard day's work, Superman walks up to Daily Planet's star journalist Lois Lane and happily embraces the Man of Steel. The end. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.